let's talk about the e-commerce academy. Let's dive straight into that, because I know that you're passionate about it. You're, creating a lot of impact. Like, I see lots of people come from your community that, have managed to change their life. This internet thing that we've all got access to is a fucking wicked tool. So how were you first motivated to start that? Like, I know it was the Wi-Fi project beforehand. You talked about rebranding so that you could build it to an exit. But what is it apart from the exit that, makes you get up and work on that project every single day?
Yeah, so in the beginning it was Wi-Fi project. Like, that's how it kind of started out, because dropshipping wasn't big like 3-4 years ago. Like, no one really knew what like creating an online business was actually like or anything, and the business models weren't like that. You got SMMA, you got so many different business models now. And when I first started out, I just happened to come across like these really small YouTubers doing dropshipping and things like that, and they would give you like advice here and there. It wasn't that much advice. And then obviously I had success. Like, I'm creating a very short story, but then I had success with dropshipping when I was 18 and 19, and I just like from the people that knew me, they were asking a lot of questions. Like, so I had close friends, and then friends of friends, and then family friends and things like that. Everybody was asking questions because it wasn't big. Like, nobody knew what dropshipping was. And then COVID hit, and that's kind of when I created Wi-Fi Project, which was like a personal brand course. It was just like dropshipping course, and I only sold it to people who were like following me and things like that, or knew who I was. I wasn't like running ads for it or anything like that. It was just pure organic. Whoever knew me and knew what I dropshipped, like, they had the opportunity to join the program. It was literally just a course at the time. There was nothing else. It was just a course on me teaching people how to dropship. Fast forwarded, like probably like a year later, I really wanted to pivot into creating an education company, and this is probably when I had the last podcast as well. So essentially, I worked on doing a massive rebrand, and started to kind of put together a business plan to create an education company rather than a course to sell. And actually, and with the education company, have account managers, have a proper team, and that's what I was planning, and that's what I envisioned to do. And so I basically worked for so long trying to build just like a team of people. I was trying to like just do everything. Like, I think that I fell so obsessed with eComm Academy, like building an education company, because there is so much that goes into it when it's not just a course. Like, you're running a proper business, you're systemizing everything, you're creating different strategies for paid marketing. Like, there is so much that goes into it, even hiring. Like, dropshipping doesn't teach you how to hire, it teaches you how to get a VA. You know what I mean? So I had to figure out how to hire people in Australia to become an account. Like, it's literally never ending. And so I fell in love with not knowing what I had to do, I think, in my opinion, because I knew how dropshipping worked, knew everything about it. But then finding this other business model, creating an education company, the unknown, is this going to work? And trying to create it the best version of itself, like the company. I think that I fell in love with that. And this was like very early days when I had just transitioned. Oh my God, that's a killer, bro.
It's going straight to your head.
Transitioned into eComm Academy. My brother had messaged me, and he was like, look, bro, like, I actually don't like what I'm doing right now. He was doing solar panels, like electrician solar panels, and obviously coming from a very, very similar background to what I was coming from as well. And I was just like, look, if you want to quit, but you're going to have to work with me for like 3 months for free. And he was like, all right, I'll do it. And then that kind of was the first like kind of team member that I hired for eComm Academy. So it was my brother. He worked for free for so long. Like, if he's watching this, we always talk about like how long he worked for free. He probably hated me.
I'm sure he loves you now.
Yeah, 100%. Well, fast forward now, he's got a store that just cracked 100K as well.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's he has created a really good dropshipping store, and it's doing really well. And he's still working for me at the same time. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going off track, but that's kind of like my passion for it. And that's kind of where it started. My passion is just like, I didn't know what I needed to do. So it was like relearning so many different skills. And there's so many. There's like so many skills that go into creating like a proper education company. And like even just like working closely with your accountant and stuff. And that's something that I had to do in the beginning. And yeah, it's been a grind, and I've been working I work so much. And it's not easy. Like, it's definitely not easy. You said at the start of the start of the podcast, most people would have given up 100%. It's not easy. Like, making my brother work for me for free for that long, like, usually people would give up if they were him as well. And yeah, that's pretty much what made me pivot into focusing all of my time and attention on eComm Academy at the moment. That's pretty much it, because I fell in love with it. Like, I actually love it. I love this type of business and everything. And also, like, my accountant and my mentors had always told me, like, if you focus on multiple different things, like, let's say that I focused on 4 different things, you can only get a 25% outcome. Like, it's impossible to get 100% outcome on 4 different things. You can't do that. If you want to create a business, I would always suggest just focus on one thing at a time. Like, look at majority of people that try crypto, then they try eComm, then they try SMMA, then they try, I don't know, Facebook Marketplace selling things. Like, they're failing at everything because they give things like a try for about 30 days and they give up. It's like, okay, well, what's the common variable in those in the failure? It's you. Just focus on one thing, keep at it, and just work every single day until it works. Like, that's literally it. There's no secret.
Half the battle is like just fighting the urge to look left and right. You know, that is the hardest part of it, in my opinion, because, like, you know, it's pretty sure it's one of Newton's laws. If you can stick at something for long enough, like, it's bound to pay out a dividend. You know, like, look at the stock market, for instance. You know, if you stay in, you know, something like the S&P 500 for 10 years, the statistics of you being up are about 112%. You know, that's a beautiful analogy for business as well. Like, if you can do the hard thing and stay focused on one thing, and, like, I'm speaking to this from experience. I spent years and years and years just trying to do everything to make sure that I had the most possibility of something taking off. But what really happens is none of it takes off. Because, like, in the early stages of a business, as you know, you're not just like the marketer, or you're not just accounts manager. You are all of that. You're your own accounts manager. You're the marketer. You're the CEO. You're the CMO. You're the CFO. Like, you're absolutely everything. And to try and think that we can do that for 4 or 5 different operations is insane. Because what happens is things start falling through the cracks, and then we then get further deflated because we're missing things. We're upsetting clients because we're not delivering, all that kind of stuff. And it makes for a very unsettling emotional experience. And then that's when I feel like most people lose the love for the entrepreneurial journey.